I'm here today with the masterminds, the power couple of power metal in Italy, to talk about Frozen Crown and their latest record, Call of the North, out today on my birthday. You guys picked the perfect date to release your record. How you guys doing?
Now we are happier because we know it's your birthday, so happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mr. Pedro. Happy birthday to you.
Wow. Okay, this was worth the price of admission. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. So let's talk about this record, because I honestly feel like you guys have something really special here with this album. I'm in love with this record, and I think it has a lot of cool elements, a lot of cool things for people to really enjoy. And today is going to be the first day that they're going to get to hear the whole thing. But let me start off by asking you this. This is the second record that you guys do with your new lineup. It's not new anymore because obviously it's the second album. But what did you guys learn from Winterbane that allowed you to make this record stronger?
Well, I think we didn't necessarily learn something, but I can say, time passed. So our drummer became older because he was 17, and that's a thing, that's a thing. Because he's among the band is the one that's directly involved with me in the songwriting, so of course that definitely had some weight on this. I would say we also had more time because back in Winterbane, in the Winterbane era, we had to deal with the lineup change and with finding the two new members, so the new guitar player and the new bass player, right while we were recording the album. So that was quite stressful, and of course we had a lot of things to do. We didn't have enough time to do that. Right now we had time to do everything more at ease. Yes. Took our time to arrange vocals. In fact, there are a lot of vocal layers this time, maybe the same we wanted to put on our album in the past, but we never had the chance to do.
Yes.
Do you guys, when you're thinking about a new record, do you set goals for what you want the album to be? Like, I want this record to sound this way, I want this record to be this way, or is your creative process a little bit more organic, and what do you feel at the time is kind of how you're going to go about it?
No.
Me? No? Well,
I have to say one thing. One goal I put to myself was I want to go higher, even higher and more powerful than the previous albums. Yeah. So that's the goal, and I'm pretty satisfied with it. I put out also my evil part, as in the song Black Heart. So yes, I wanted to put something more.
But you already played an evil part in Nightcrawler.
Yes,
last time, yeah.
But I wanted to be more evil. Yeah. From album to album, I will be more evil.
Yeah.
What about you, Federico? Do you
about me?
Musically, do you have goals?
Yeah. Well, from the songwriting point of view, absolutely not, because yes, it's more organic, as you say. I mean, I just write. Music. I'm first of all a fan of metal music. I'm an enthusiast. I just want to write music that makes me feel better when I listen to it and when I write it. So that's just organic. I never plan in advance. We're going to have 10 songs with 5 singles, 1 ballad, that stuff like that. Never. Song is as it is. That's the reason why, for example, we have songs that are very different and maybe longer, like In a Moment, for example, or Far Away. And we also end up with having simpler songs. So that's something that, when you write a part, the next part is calling you, it's something very organic. From a production point of view, instead, I would say we always wanted our music to sound as majestic as possible. But of course, it's also a matter of time and of budget and of time again. So of course, every album is going better because, of course, you know, we sell more copies with the next album, so we have more money to invest, more time to be in the studio, and everything is going to sound more majestic, of course, closer to the idea we have in mind. But of course, the perfect album is always the next, you know.
And that takes me to my next question, because you said, you know, the next album, the latest album is good, but the best album is always going to be the next, and you're always looking forward. But do you feel like this record is perhaps the one where the DNA of the band, sound-wise and even vocally, is here? Like this is perhaps the most Frozen Crown record that you guys have ever done?
In my opinion, yes, and it is shown in songs like Call of the North, in my opinion. Fire in the Sky. I think that they are the more Frozen Crown songs ever. Which songs do you think are the most?
But all of them, because I think if you, I don't know if you notice that or that's something that it's so clear, but of course we also have some sort of, you know, melodic death riffs. I mean, melodic death metal riffs rather than classic power and heavy riffs. Of course, we also have them, but we're more influenced by Swedish death metal bands, Finnish power death metal bands. So we have our own way to make power metal that actually, I mean, I never ever thought I play power metal. You know, it was the record label, it was the people that actually call us power metal. In my mind, we are like melodic death metal with clean vocals or whatever. We are Frozen Crown, you know. So this album is really yes, the most Frozen Crown of Frozen Crown albums for that reason, and also because we could include those few acoustic bits we never had the chance to include in the past, just for technical reasons, you know.
When you guys go in the studio, or when you're looking at making a record from start to finish, is there a part of the process that you hate? And is there a part of the process that you absolutely love and you could do it all day long?
In my opinion, the part I love best is the being in studio recording the last version of the voices. That's what I love, because I see the song finally taking its final shape after working on it a lot. That's my favorite part.
Yeah, demos, a lot of demos, yeah, going, you know, pre-production, stuff like that. I think I hate every single moment, but love every single moment, because it's like, yeah, I'm barely sleeping when I'm working on an album for like 2 months straight or something like that. I always feel so stressed, but I also feel that's the only thing I could do in my life. So that's, and I say, wow, I'm doing this. I'm recording a guitar solo in the middle of the night. You know, that's something, you know, if you don't do that, you can understand that. So it's like, yeah, I should hate that, but I love every single minute of that, every suffering, every piece of suffering. Yes.
I love what you said. I just want to record the vocals at the end and hear the songs finish. It's like, you know, you guys do all the hard work and then you just call me when it's done and I'll just come in and I'll do my thing and then we can go and have some ice cream, some gelato or something like that. I love that approach. When it comes to this record, from my perspective, it felt a little bit more streamlined than previous albums. And what I mean by that is that previous records, sometimes it was harder to find the red line between the songs because there was a lot of variation in styles from track to track. This album felt a little bit more compact. Like the songs did not have the same starting point because you guys did something really cool, which was changing the way songs started. Almost every track starts differently, but eventually we get always into that same path, which makes the whole album feel more together. Was that something that you thought before, or is something that happened naturally in the way you created these songs?
This is a very interesting question because, and I remember you mentioning that in the review too. It's very interesting because I never thought about that. I don't know if you ever thought about that, but I think this is absolutely true because of how we worked on the songs. Previously, we were working on a song, have pretty much that whole song done, and then move to the next. You know, it was more like focusing on each song. This time,
Yes,
yeah,
yes, yes.
this time we didn't have the complete version of each song until the very end. And go figure, if I'm not wrong, the Call of the North acoustic interlude was actually meant to be the intro for Far Away, which was meant to be an opener. So we also took parts from one song to move in another. And that's because we thought about the album as a whole thing. And this is absolutely true. And I'm very, very happy that you actually, noticed that in that way. Yeah.
It makes the album better. Like, it makes the listening experience of listening to the record better, because you feel more comfortable and going from song to song, and you're kind of growing with the album. And I thought that showed a lot of maturity from you guys. I think that's hard to achieve with the first record, with the second record. I think it takes time for you guys to kind of get to that point. And that's why I said this album is the most Frozen Crown album you guys have ever done. All of these moving pieces play a role in it. When it comes to the guitars, do you see this as a guitar centric record? Meaning, is this an album that depends heavily on the guitar sound in order for the album to work?
What do you think?
Oh, I am not that guitar nerd, but in my opinion, there is a clear personality of the sound. Yes.
Yeah, I think, guitar, I think we are what some could call a guitar-oriented band.
Yeah.
I mean, if we happen to play live with keyboards, with sequences, if you turn sequences off, you're not really losing that much, because of course those orchestration, how can we call them, yes, serve just to empower vocals and guitars even more, but we feel like we are a guitar oriented band. So yes, the guitar sound was extremely important to be identified, because it's like probably what actually captivated us as listeners when we were listening to bands like Children of Bodom. You had, yes, those awesome songs, but those cutting guitars, those were something that really hit you. The pinch harmonics, all that kind of stuff. It's something that always emotioned me, at least. Yes. I don't know you. Yeah, maybe you're a singer, so you're more into vocals. I don't know, but
no, but I understand what you mean. In my opinion, in my musical fan history, for example, one really personal guitar player is the one from Blind Guardian. You can always recognize him clearly for the riffs, for the arpeggios, for the ideas he had, and the sound. Yes, because through the years, you can always, by two notes, you recognize him. So that's important.
Is this guitar sound and this guitar focus coming from you being a guitar player, or it helps when you have two really good guitar players in the band?
Well, actually, the other guitar player is better than me, to start with. I'm just the composer. In fact, I always define myself just a composer, and guitar is just my tool, the tool I use to record my, but that's because I think to be considered a guitar player, you really have to be an innovator of some sort. I feel more like a composer that happened to have a guitar in his hands. I use a guitar. If I didn't have a guitar, I would use a keyboard. Sometimes I write songs using a bass, for example, but anyway, I think that focus on guitar comes from probably the fact that our favorite bands were always the more guitar oriented ones. I mean, we're more Iron Maiden and less Within Temptation to which we of course appreciate. She loves them.
Yes,
but,
of course.
Yes. But as from a sound point of view, we were more into bands that were actually able to create melodies using guitars, those kind of sharp guitars. I grew up with, In Flames, Dark Tranquillity, yeah, Soilwork, no?
Yes,
Isn't that one of your favorite
I
bands?
love them.
Yeah, but even Nevermore, for
Oh,
example.
I love them.
Yeah, so and what really, what really fascinated me in Blind Guardian mostly was the fact that they used a lot of orchestrations and choirs,
Yeah.
or choirs, how do you call
Choirs,
it?
choirs.
Choirs. Yes, sorry. But there were a lot of parts, like in Time What Is Time. There were a lot of parts with just raw guitar, bass, and drums, and that's it. That was so powerful. There was almost thrash metal, but it was able to create something epic. That always made me enthusiastic. So what I really wanted to do with Frozen Crown as well was to not abuse orchestration, but to just do whatever I could do with just guitars. Then if orchestration were needed in some specific parts, I was going to use them. Yes, why not? But the main melody always had to be coming from guitars. Yeah.
And I want to thank you for that, because I feel like these days a lot of bands, power metal bands, melodic metal bands, are using too many keyboards, too many synths, too many orchestrations, and you don't hear any power coming from the guitars. The guitars are disappearing in the mix. It's all about this epic sound. And when I was listening to your record, it was so refreshing that I could hear guitars. I can hear guitar players. That's what I want, and I think that's one of the strengths of the album. Now, changing things to the vocals, I have to ask you this: the album vocally felt very natural, it felt very organic, almost like you walked into the shower. Federico set up a microphone, you were singing in the shower, and that's the vocals that you guys used on the record. It felt very, very, really natural, very organic from that point of view. What changed for you on this album vocally? Did you change your technique? Have you changed something?
No, of course, I improve continuously by practicing, by singing live, by rehearsals, by yes, at home I focused on some techniques, some points, but nothing that extremely different. I think it was somehow a natural development, uh, coming from experience.
Maybe I could add that by knowing each other, I mean, as a band, more as time passes, of course, we are also able to make maybe songs that make every single member to shine more, So this is also the case for her, because yeah, at the beginning, I remember we barely knew each other. So I wrote those songs. Yes, I adapted them for them to be, in the right tuning for her voice, but that was it. Instead, I think the more we know each other, the more we know where she can actually go to give her best. Yeah.
Yes, I confirm.
No, it shows on the record. The album really fits your voice and your vocal range and your style extremely well. And but having said that, was there a song on this record that vocally, was a little bit difficult, a little bit more challenging? Maybe it won't be in the set list because it was too much of a headache to nail it for the record?
No, the fact is that no. The thing is, when I had in my hands the final master, sometimes I say to myself, oh my God, how was I able to change to sing this song like this? But I sang them easily, quickly, and
And aren't you afraid to play any of them live?
No,
She's okay.
not really.
We will see, Pedro.
He's not sure. He's throwing you under the bus. He's not sure about it.
No, because yeah, for what concerns
I'm
me,
afraid to ask what he thinking about, because maybe there is something that he never told me. I don't know. I thought that I kicked ass in that song, and maybe he's thinking.
No, she kicked ass. But for what, if I think about myself, there are songs that I'm like, oh my God, I don't even remember how I played that solo in studio. How am I going to play this live? Or also on the vocal side, for what concerns my parts, of course, there are songs that maybe I arranged there in the studio on the get-go, and then right now I should think about how I sang them, or maybe I made too many lines and I have to choose the right one for the live shows to sing and to play. To me, it's quite challenging, and I'm happy it's not for you, but
no, but
yeah.
if you remember, in the studio, I recorded them.
Yeah, really, like
Easily, no problem. Not a specific problem in a specific song.
She was having an espresso and singing at the same time. She was
Yes,
reading.
5 minutes
She was reading
after.
La Gazzetta dello Sport, having an espresso and singing all at the same time.
La Gazzetta dello Sport, yeah.
More or less.
We've talked about the growth of the band, but is the growth of this is a question about, is the chicken or the egg? Which one came first? So has the growth of yourselves as individual musicians given growth to the band, or has the band growth in general has allowed you to also grow as musicians?
I have grown because the band has grown. Yes, that's it. I'm not grown better by myself aside from the band. How can I say? Everything I did to improve was because of the band.
Yeah, I can agree.
And working with the band has improved my skills.
Yeah, I agree, because the other band members are very propositive. I don't know if that's a word actually, but they are really stimulating us, me, and everybody is stimulating each other. We have a real close bond, like family wise, so that also, why not? That also improves you on a human level. So of course, we're talking about writing songs here, so we're talking about art. So yeah, something that touches your heart. We wouldn't be doing this if we didn't love this. So of course, if you become a better person, you feel a better environment, better atmosphere around. How can I say? Of course, you're going to be better. Everybody's going to be better. Everybody's going to have a great time, and of course, to write better songs. I think that's quite natural. Yeah.
Have you guys taken a moment to look at the future and maybe think about where do you want Frozen Crown to be in 10 years, for example? Do you guys think about that, or are you just living day by day?
I'm living the moment. Yeah.
Yes, also because this COVID fact that happened a couple of years ago smashed every project. So now you are more used to think from 1 year to the other, more than from here to 10 years. Yes, in my opinion.
When are we going to see you guys in North America? I'm more specifically in Toronto. I don't care about the rest of North America. I don't give a shit. I just want to see you guys play in Toronto. So when are we going to see you guys come to this side of the Atlantic? Do you have any plans?
Well, of course we have plans. We always had them, but of course there's a lot of logistic things to go. We are also a self-produced band. I don't know if that's a term, but yeah, we also take care about everything. Of course, we have a booking agency, an agent, but we are working. We are responsible of our own money, expenses. So we have to make everything work, and yeah, we're trying to work on that, absolutely. But right now it's still a little too soon, I think. If we could maybe join someone else, as an opener, special guest, stuff like that, that would be much easier, of course. Yeah.
I hope it happens. I hope it happens soon. I really do. Otherwise, you guys are going to force me to go to Italy to see a show or something like that. And I don't want to do that. I'd rather have you guys come over here. I'm lazy when I get on a plane.
Yeah, we would like to do that. Yes.
I have one last question for you guys. For fans of Frozen Crown, give us a little bit of an insight in terms of the music that you guys like. If you guys had to be stuck in an island together, and you could, each one of you could take one record, which record would you take?
Nightfall in Middle Earth from Blind Guardian.
Good
No
choice.
hesitation.
Of course, there are many, but the first one that comes to my mind is the right one. So it's The Gallery by Dark Tranquillity. And I think our drummer will bring a jazz album. I think our guitar player will bring a metalcore album, like from you know, those bands with skinny jeans and bands.
And hair like this.
Yeah. And
No, Iki is difficult.
no, I think our
player.
bass player will bring a Black Sabbath album. Yeah.
A classic.
Yeah.
Bring a classic. All right. The
Very
metalcore,
balanced.
the metalcore one surprised me. She doesn't come across as a metalcore fan. So,
Yeah.
but interesting. So, you know, I think she's too good of a guitar player to listen to metalcore. Not that there's not great guitar players in metalcore, but I'm going to get a lot of hate for saying that, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
It is what it is. All right, guys, thank you very much for your time today. I know it's album release day. You guys are super busy, so I really appreciate you guys taking the time to chat with me. Thank you for the lovely record that you guys put together. I'm in love with this album from Frozen Crown, the most Frozen Crown album. I love it. So thank you very much. Enjoy the release. Enjoy the shows that you guys are playing. And hopefully I'll see you guys soon.
Let's hope so. Thank you for having us here, and
happy birthday.
And happy birthday.
Oh, and thank you.
Party.
Thank you for the happy birthday sing along for me. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Thanks.
See you guys.
Ciao. Bye.